Okay, this video is on tools for decoding simplified part 2. We're going to jump right in it, and we're going to start off with vaca. Vaca means cow. Okay, and in cinema in Hollywood, they use the vaca, the cow, as allegorical for the vaccine because it sounds like vaca, vaccine, and it's always tied to um, your Apollo character or your Apollyon character. Usually after a crash landing or so, right? Almost like the dragon being cast out of heaven. Okay, and we'll start off with Back to the Future. Watch this little clip. I'll show you the vaca, and then the 88 that you just seen. We'll decode that in a minute. You get the same situation like in the movie Men in Black, where the alien crash lands and then takes the guy's body, and then there's a cow right there witnessing the whole thing in the background. It symbolizes the same thing, and in many other movies. And if you haven't noticed by now, on the deeper levels of decoding these movies, that there's always, besides the vid connection, right, and the 9/11 connection, there's always an alien type connection to it too. Um, Possibly, maybe in the next Metonic cycle, that's what, it'll be the fake alien invasion. But I honestly don't think we're going to go that far. I think the alien thing is just allegory for um, maybe possibly just the virus. Not too sure yet. But there is an alien theme in a lot of movies that's connected to the same vid and 9/11 theme.
Looks like an airplane. Well, wait. That ain't no airplane. Look.
And I got to pause this every few seconds so I don't get a copyright, just to let you know. Bear with me. And they focus on them for no reason. Okay, so on this scene in the last video, we talked about the Revelation 12 sign, right? And you have it right here. So these people in Hollywood, they know exactly what time it is. So whenever you see the Revelation 12 sign, you know that um, Apollyon, the bringer of the cure and the disease, will be released, or the dragon, or maybe one in the two. But whatever that character really symbolizes, um, you'll see this symbol, and you got to look for it. It's once you see it in a couple of movies, you'll see it in most movies. It's in 9 out of 10 movies. Like today, I was watching so just a little bit of um, Escape from L.A., and there's a basketball scene where Snake Plissken, and remember, Snake has a tattoo on his stomach, like the serpent in the chest, which we discussed in the last video. Um, he's playing basketball, and you see this symbol, two of them, one on each side. You also see it in Idiocracy when he gets out of jail or when he escapes, right? Or when he's loosed. You see him on both sides of the wall. and they're not random, and they're in so many movies. Time Cop, what's it, Interstellar. Um, it's in almost every movie. Um, we also went over envy. They have different ways and shapes and forms of sharing this shape. Okay, so you clearly saw the cows, right? And the cows are always in the background because there's something to do with the cows and the vodka and the meat. Okay, so when I say meat, there's also different variations of the vodka. So it could be meat, it could be a hamburger, like in the movie Blue Beetle, if you remember that decode. So the bug was connected to the hamburger. Remember, he put the bug in the hamburger box. So there's your vodka. See what I'm saying? And in the movie Head of State, it was Tracy Morgan offered Chris Rock some meat, right? And in the background of Chris Rock, the gas station, you see a Mayflower truck, which symbolizes sickness, and the meat, which you get the dichotomy. Okay, enough time on that one. The next one is the raccoon. This one I got from Enter the Stars. Um, and remember, a lot of this information is a collaboration of everybody's. It's not mine. It's not theirs. It's not ours. It's all God's. The raccoon scrambled um, has Corona in it. What are the odds of that? And then I was thinking, wait, his name is Rocket, and I put out a video called "The Nuclear War," meaning you know, nuclear has nuclear in it, like biowarfare, right? And his name is Rocket. Okay, the next one we have is the number 88, as you've seen in the Back to the Future movie. Um, you'll see this movie over and over, or combinations of it. Remember the numbers? It could be 808, 5392, but once you see the 88 next to each other, some way, shape, or form, or if something adds up to 88, you have the 44 and the 44. It's the 88. Even if you see the single 8, it usually represents the 88. What that means is the analemma, which it's time and space. The analemma is uh, the cycle of the sun and the moon. They make a figure 8 throughout the year and the month in the sky. So it symbolizes time. It's like a Mobius strip, see? Like a loop, time loop. Okay? Um, in cinema, it also represents warp speed, like speeding up the time. Just like they did when they came out with the old Vaca, right? They speeded up the time, they didn't test anything, and they warp speeded it. Okay? Next one. Uh, Next one is 22. I didn't pull out a tab for it because I can explain it to you. 22 alphanumerically is BB, right? A capital B, looks like an 8. So it's code for 88. It's just another way of saying it. So you'll see a lot of 22s in movies. Um, and it's actually referencing 88. And it's also, and the two capitalized B's, you can also see a 33 in it too. So it's both. It's 33 and 88, but usually it stands for 88. BB 88, 22. And a lot of people out there in the community thought something was going to happen in the year 2022 because it was everywhere. It's everywhere in cinema. Um, Come to find out, it actually symbolizes 88. So it was just representing warp speed. It wasn't a year. Okay, the next one we have is 66. And the 66 looks like two fangs, like the two bites of a snake. And coincident. And remember, these numbers could be interchangeable. A 6 66 could be 99, right? Because they're the same number, they're just upside down. So whenever you see 99, it actually represents 66. It's a Gemini number, so it's connected to, the Gemini man or Omega man. And coincidentally, on the 66th floor penthouse of this certain individual, um, Apollo symbolism is everywhere. Maybe not in this particular picture, just on the roof right here, we have the Apollo symbol. There's some statues back and through here if you study. I don't really like looking at other people's stuff, but I studied it before, and and other channels have studied it, and there is valid Apollo symbolism there. So the 66 is definitely connected to, um, the cure and the sickness, the fangs. Okay, the next one is number 9. And we've done videos on the number 9. And I'll just briefly talk about it because I'm not going to get deep into it. But 9, all numbers, it's like the king of the numbers. Everything equals 9. It's like the movie 23, but it's actually really the number 9. Everything equals 9, some way, shape, or form, from time to fractions to math to distance. Everything equals time. Equals 9. And I'll show you a quick little video if you don't believe me.
Hello. In this video, I wanted to show how the number 9 is the perfect number because we can turn any other number into the number 9. I'll show you. We'll start with an easy number like 72. 7 plus 2 equals 9. Let's try a lower number like 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 12 minus 3 equals 9. Let's try a number in the middle. 56. 5 plus 6 equals 11. 56 minus 11 equals 45. 4 plus 5 equals 9. Let's try another number, maybe 33. 3 plus 3 equals 6. 33 minus 6 equals 27. 2 plus 7 equals 9. Now, does it work for any numbers larger than 100? And yes, it does. It just may take a step or two longer to break down. Let's try 4,321.
All right, so you get the idea. There's a lot more going on with the number 9. You should look into it if you haven't. That's why I think that a lot has to do with, the mark of the beast and 666. I think it's the same thing as 999. How it's found in everything, everywhere here, right? I think this world that we live in, the current world that's run by the Prince of, where, not Jesus right now, currently. That's the 666 world that we live in. Our 666 flesh, and it's found everywhere. Remember, the 6 is the 9, 9 is the 6. Anyway, I don't want to get deep into that, uh, but you get the idea. So in cinema, they use it as code for forgetfulness. And how do I get that with that? It's just like, okay, so when you buy something for $19.99, you get the illusion that it's $19, but it's really $20. Um, they use that magic and spin it on us, right? And that's why they always say never forget 9/11, but yet we all forgot. So that's what that's equating to. The 9 is their magic number to make us forget. Okay, next one. And they use it in various ways too, the 9. A lot of times I've seen they use it like a 9 irons, right? Like when they play golf, and the golf ball hits somebody and they get all woozy and forget. And in Ferris Bueller, which is the Ferris is the needle tip, right? Ferris Bueller, the mom called, or the principal called the mom and said that Ferris was absent 9 times. And she goes, I don't remember him being absent 9 times. And then it goes down to two, which is your 11. 9, 2, 911. Okay, so never forget 9/11. All right, so next we have the dragon, right? The dragon is not really the dragon, it's China. So China is heavily saturated in programming and cinema, whether it be the dragon symbolism, whether it be chopsticks or soy sauce is your SS, and I'll explain what that is in a minute. Um, Chinese food boxes, it all symbolizes China. And what that means is that's the ultimate plan, or that's the end game for the free world to be like China. Um, I don't know if they want China to be in charge of like the whole new world order, one world government type thing. I'm sure it'll be very China esque, but I know they want America to be like China, so that's why all that China influence is there. It's not for the China virus. It's for America to eventually be China or to be taken over by. Anyway, the China programming is definitely there in some way, shape, or form. Just got to pay attention to it. It's there. Okay, and keep on going. Also, you'll see, I'm sure you have already, many German influences in movies. And Germany, um, cinematically speaking, represents germs, right? It's allegorical for germs. Germany, germs. So they'll use Germany as allegory for the sickness, right? And then you got the SS, which is your 219, your Gemini CV-19, and you even have your SS over here, which is your two lightning bolts as well. It's your Apollo. So you have Apollo signaling a connection with the sickness and the cure just with Germany. And remember, Pfizer was one of the big distributors of the vaccine, and Pfizer's I believe there's in partnership with Germany, or they're a German run for pharmaceutical. I believe it's a collaboration. I'm not too sure. Let's find out. Let's see. Let's see. uh, okay, Pfizer is an American multinational pharmaceutical and biotechnology corporation headquartered in Spiral, Manhattan. That's weird. New York City, the Big Apple. The company was established in 1849 in New York by two German entrepreneurs. So there's your German connection to it. And right here it says Pfizer develops and produces medicines and vaccines. COVID-19 vaccine right down there. There you go. All right. And you're probably asking yourself, I don't want to leave it on this picture because Hitler's kind of creepy. So does the dragon, but pretty much one and the same, right? Let's go to Revelation 9:11. So this is what it's all about. So if you see the repetitive programming in movies, what you're looking for is this right here. the dragon being cast down, the king coming from the bottomless pit, Apollo. Apollo is the bringer of disease, the disease and the cure. That's what we're looking for, and that's what we're being programmed and suggested to either go along with, to accept. We're being programmed and hypnotized to accept these things when they do come. And that's why we vote for the rich man, right? But when we rationalize and think to ourselves, wait, the Bible's completely the opposite, right? It tells us to not put our faith in man or a rich man, or sell all your stuff and walk the humble life. So why do we go and take vaccines that haven't even seen the proper amount of time of trial? How can we vote for people that are completely opposite to our understanding of biblical theology or even our morality, right? And what's going on is that we're being hypnotized and programmed, and we don't even realize it. And these things are real because hypnotists exist. Um, there's hypnotherapy. There's people even use it for, like, magical shows and stuff like that, where hypnotists use trigger words and they plant these seeds way ahead of time, and they get people to think of a number that they've already seeded throughout the day. The same thing applies for a movie. You figure you watch a movie for 2 hours, right? And then your brain goes into some kind of sleep state. I think it's almost similar to what, theta. And when you're in that dream state, it goes straight to your subconscious. And so we're being subconsciously programmed by these trigger words over and over. And not just me, not just you, but everywhere across the world. And so when these people enter the scene or these situations come, we go along with it. We vote for them. And that's exactly what's going on. We've been hypnotized, and we've been subconsciously programmed to accept all this stuff, to accept the sickness and the cure when it came, to accept these people when they came on the scene. And they're here right now. It's not over. We're still going through all this stuff. This is just the beginning. But I think we're a lot further along in this time in Revelation than we think. I think the indoctrinated versions of Revelation is a complete ploy to distract us from the truth, to distract us from the true time. Um, and I think that there's no coincidence that this character, Apollyon, the bringer of the sickness and the cure, is connected to Revelation 9:11. That's how good God is. God put it right in front of our face. Hey, I put it there for you, man. All you got to do is just connect the lines, connect the dots. Okay, so on that note, that should be enough to scare the crap out of you to get saved. So here are some some salvation verses. If you shall confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, and shall believe with all your heart that God raised him from the dead, and that he shed his blood to wash you clean, you shall be saved. Okay, here are some salvation verses. If you have any questions about salvation, or how to get saved, or how to get baptized, leave it in my comment section. All right, thank you for watching. Until next time.